I want you to picture this clearly. The cafe was alive that evening. Low voices, the sound of cups clinking, the warm glow spilling from lamps. Outside, London rushed as usual. Inside, time seemed slower. I was sitting at a corner table across from her.com/steady, watchful. To anyone looking, it was just two people having coffee, but I knew better. This was not just conversation. It was a test. Every look, every pause, every word was carrying weight. And I want you to understand, this is how it always is. Every conversation is a test. Most men never realize this. They think words are only words. They think when a woman speaks lightly or playfully, it's just chatter. But beneath it all, there's always something deeper. She is watching you. She is studying you. Not your stories, not your jokes, not even your answers. She is studying your frame. That night, I learned what most men spend their whole lives ignoring, and that's what I want to share with you today. Lesson 1. The test of ignoring. She leaned back, tilted her head, and asked, "So, do you always try this hard?" On the surface, it was nothing, just playful words. But I knew what it was, a probe. And then, she picked up her phone. Silence. She let the air hang. Most men, in that moment, would panic. They'd scramble to grab her attention back. They'd ask, "What's wrong? Did I say something?" Or worse, they'd start performing, cracking jokes, trying to prove their value. That's how I used to react in my past. I couldn't stand silence. I thought silence meant I was losing her. I thought if I didn't fill the space, I'd be forgotten. But here's the truth. Silence is not your enemy. Silence is your weapon. That night, I didn't chase. I didn't perform. I didn't fold. I simply let the silence breathe. I took a slow sip of coffee, calm, steady, as if nothing happened. And that is the first lesson you must learn. When she ignores you, it's not about the silence itself. It's about what you do with it. If you panic, you reveal insecurity. If you remain still, you reveal control. And trust me, she feels it. She feels the weight of your calm more than any clever word you could speak. Lesson 2. The test of interrupting later. As the conversation flowed, she leaned in and tapped the table lightly. I began to speak, slow, deliberate, but halfway through my sentence, she cut me off. Oh my God, that reminds me of something hilarious. And just like that, she seized the frame. She took the lead. Now, here's where men usually fail. Some shrink back, handing over all control without realizing it. Others get defensive, raising their voice, fighting to reclaim the spotlight. Both reactions are weak. Both reveal you're threatened. I used to do that to either retreat into silence or overcompensate. Both ways, I lost. But not that night. That night, I paused. I looked at her, calm, patient, and I gave her space to finish her thought. Frustration. No insecurity. No visible sting. Then, and when she was done, I simply smiled and said, "Interesting," as I was saying, and I picked up where I had left off. That is verbal power. Not fighting for attention. Not surrendering it either. Simply holding your frame so firmly that the conversation bends back toward you. She blinked, surprised. She expected resistance or submission. She found neither, and for the first time, she felt the gravity of my composure. Lesson 3. The test of teasing. By now, she was leaning in, but her tests weren't done. Women rarely stop at 2. She smirked and tilted her head, her eyes sharp as her words. You talk like you're trying to sound mysterious. Do you practice in the mirror or something?" Her tone was playful. But don't miss it. Teasing is always a test. This is where most men collapse. They defend themselves. They protest. "No, I don't do that. I'm just being myself." Or worse, they force a joke, trying to cover insecurity with fake laughter. I've done that too. And every time, I felt her interest slip away. But this time, I didn't defend. I didn't explain. I didn't fight. I just smiled, slow, controlled, and said, "Maybe, but you're still here listening." Silence, then laughter, real, genuine laughter. Do you see what happened there? I didn't resist her tease. I absorbed it and turned it into power, not reactive, not defensive, just unshaken. Why women test now? Let me tell you something most men never grasp. Women don't test you to destroy you. They test you to measure you. A woman needs to know if you're real, if you're steady, if you can be trusted with her energy, her time, her emotions. She tests not out of cruelty, but instinct. When she ignores you, she's asking, will you chase? When she interrupts you, she's asking, will you fold? When she teases you, she's asking, will you break? And when you stay calm, when you remain present, when you hold your frame, she feels something she rarely feels, safety in your strength. Closing reflection that night, in that cafe, it wasn't coffee that was exchanged, it was power. A battle of frames, silent but sharp, and I passed. Not because I had perfect words, not because I was charming, but because I understood the truth. Every conversation is a test. It's not about the story you tell. It's about the energy you hold. It's not about avoiding tests. It's about passing them, not with force, not with panic, but with stillness, with presence, with power. And here's what I want you to remember. She will test you, every time. The question is not if. The question is, will you pass? Because when you do, she feels it, deeply, instinctively. And in that moment, without a word, she knows, here is a man worth following. Narrator's closing line, every conversation is a test. The real strength of a man is not shown in how much he talks, but in how much he cannot be shaken.